Hi BookTube, I'm the new girl. Thank you for clicking on my face and welcome to my brand new channel. So I should probably start with my name, and that's Suzy. I am so excited to be diving headfirst into what is a dream project of mine, to start a bookish YouTube channel. If you're new to BookTube, well hey girl, so am I. I'm not new to viewing BookTube, I will say. I've been watching BookTube videos for about 2 years now, and I am constantly amazed by all the incredible things you guys are out there doing, and I just wanted to be a part of it. So 2020, I mean, that sucked, and so far 2021 has been similar, but there's hope and there's light at the end of the tunnel. And one of the great things that I took from 2020, and the horror show that was to finally build up the courage, the nerve to give this a go. You've probably noticed that the channel name is Gone Readin, and that was simply because the real world sucked. So off I went into my bookish wonderland, and I haven't really surfaced since. So what I should say is that this is about the 10th time that I've tried to film this video. Booktubers make this look so easy. But if I can figure out how to edit properly, then I will insert fail clips here. There's always one bit of hair, isn't there? It just won't go. I spent more time on my hair today than I have in the past year, and it still looks rubbish. But I've lost my train of thought. How often is that going to happen? Oh, probably a lot. Okay, just so editing Suze knows, this is take number 3. Hopefully it's the right one. What I'm going to start... No, that's wrong. I think what I wanted to say was... No, scratch that, Suze. Just edit that bit out. You're just babbling, just rambling. Please edit it out, Suze. Don't be an idiot. God, editing's going to be such a nightmare. So yeah, as you can tell, I'm pretty new at all of this. Hopefully you will bear with me and come along on the journey. I am going to be working on doing all the BookTube staples. So we're talking hauls, unhauls, which I have to say my husband is very excited about, but I'm less jazzed about. I'm not great at getting rid of things, especially not my book babies, but got to compromise somewhere. I need more space for new books, so that'll probably happen. We'll be talking wrap-ups, reviews. I will try to do TBRs, but I'm going to warn you now, I'm a mood reader first and foremost, so traditional structured TBRs haven't always worked for me in the past, but we're going to give it our best shot. The other thing that I'm so excited for is the creative content I've got planned. So just to give you a flavour of the kind of thing that I read, so that you can work out whether or not I'm the girl for you. I love fantasy, I love sci-fi, historical fiction, a little bit of horror. I quite enjoy the odd non-fiction, although I'll be honest, it's not what I typically reach for. That said, the last couple of years I have been trying to increase the amount of non-fiction I'm reading, so I'm sure that will crop up every now and then on here. I love a good thriller. I really enjoy police procedural type crime books. I find them fascinating. I still love graphic novels and comics, and fight me, they're brilliant. And I've even started taking on the odd classic. A few of my favourite books from last year, just so that you know, again, you've got a bit more context as to what kind of reader I am. I won't take you through what these books are about at this stage because this is just a quick intro video, but if you do want to know more about each of them or see my reviews for them, I will link my Goodreads down below for you, and that will give you an opportunity to get a feel for my review style as well. Generally a little bit sarcastic, sometimes painfully honest. I do try to be helpful though. My favourite book of last year was The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. That probably won't shock anybody. Everybody seems to love that book, and I am fully on that bandwagon. It was just so beautiful, so incredible, and it hooked me from the get-go. Other books I loved last year were Sadie by Courtney Summers, Illuminate by J. Christoph and Amy Kaufman, another BookTube darling, but for very good reason. The Hate You Give by Andy Thomas, which was just incredible. Horror Store by Grady Hendrix, which he's quite a controversial author, as I'm sure you'll have heard of him before now, but in case you haven't, he is known for crossing that line. I mean, he sees the line, he's crossed it, the line is a dot to him. But I love his writing. I can't help it. I really like him. I also read and loved Dread Nation by Justina Ireland last year, which was a huge surprise for me. So although I like horror books, I'm quite new to YA. There's a couple of other YA titles in this quick list of books that I loved from last year. But last year was the first time I really gave YA a chance. I was a bit prejudiced towards it beforehand, and I never should have been, because I can't tell you, it's just like any other genre. There are good and there are bad ones. But the ones that I've read that were good were so good, and it completely changed my mind on YA as a genre. I also loved The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. Again, this sounds quite divisive, but it gave me all the creepy Darkwood vibes I needed, and it was for me the perfect witchy book, which was just what I wanted, because I read it in October, and it was, chef's kiss. So good. I read The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin and adored it. I think she should be protected at all costs. She is an absolute treasure, a complete genius of modern fantasy writing, and she made me fall in love with modern fantasy in a way that I didn't think was possible. I am traditionally a sword and sorcery girl, so the old school high fantasy, all the tropes that you could ask for, the farm boy, the chosen one, the quest, dragons, that's normally my sweet spot for fantasy. But N.K. Jemisin has completely turned my head. It was a bit like Casa Amor in Love Island. When N.K. Jemisin came walking through the door for me. I adore her writing, can't get enough of it, and I'm now trying to consume as much of her backlist as I possibly can after that experience. So a series I read and loved last year was the Divine Cities trilogy by Robert Jackson Bennett. Most people will probably know him for his more recent series, which is the Founders trilogy. There's 2 books out currently at the moment, Foundryside and Shorefall. I've read both of those as well, but the Divine Cities trilogy is the one that stood head and shoulders above the rest for me. Started out rocky, gave it a 3-star the first book, which was City of Stairs, 4 stars for City of Blades, and 5 stars for City of Miracles. And I really only need to say one word to sum that series up, and that's Sigrid. If you've read the series, you'll know that Sigrid is the main character of book 3, but he is in the first 2 instalments as well. The books change up the perspectives they follow, so it's 3 main characters. First one, second and the third are all from different POVs, and Sigrid's is the third one, and oh mama, yeah, loved it, absolutely adored it. So there are a couple of others I also really adored, just honourable mentions from last year, which were DJINN and CAIRO by P. Jelly Clark. I love P. Jelly Clark. He can do no wrong. And I am so excited for his 2021 release, which is A Master of Djinn, and that's due in May. Did she just say due in May? Yes, she did. Hello everybody, I hope this isn't too disorientating, but it is editing Suze, and who'd have thought I'd need to come in on video 1? There's got to be some kind of a record, but here we are. Hopefully the lighting is okay and the change isn't too jarring. It has been a couple of months since I first filmed this video. I filmed it back at the end of March 2021, which was the beginning of the end of lockdown for us here in the UK, and since then life has just been really busy. The reason I've jumped in right now is to explain that in this next part of the video, slight spoiler alert, I mention that I'm really excited for A Master of Djinn, P. Jelly Clark's new release for this year, and that I was hoping I might get it for my birthday, because my birthday was coming up. My birthday was in April. So we're a bit out of date, but I thought I should jump in and just explain. I didn't end up getting it for my birthday, which will show me when I shouldn't expect anything. But I did manage to pre-order it myself. Unfortunately, I think all the hardback covers must have sold out. Even Amazon didn't have it within a couple of weeks of release date. And so I've managed to pre-order the paperback, which comes out in August. So So hopefully I'll still be able to read it in time for the end of this year. It is part of one of my reading challenges. I'm sure I'll explain all about the different challenges I'm involved in this year in another video. But for now, I'm babbling, which I've noticed I do a lot in editing all of this. And the other thing I've noticed is how often I say so. I had no idea. I'm so sorry. Hopefully it hasn't been too annoying. Hopefully this hasn't been too much of a mess of a first video, and hopefully your forgiveness will be extended for all the many fits and starts that I've had in this process so far. But for right now, we'll go back to March 2021 Suze, who will wrap up the rest of this video, and I will see you, hopefully, editing Suze, won't see you again, but it's bound to happen, innit? But in the meantime, I'll see you in a sec. My birthday's coming up, so you never know. I might even be treated to that one, although obviously if I am, it'll be a pre-order, so I'll still have to wait. But it's, yeah, so excited for that one. I can't wait to get stuck back into that world. His world building is incredible. His kick-ass female leads, amazing. No one writes them better. To Be Taught If Fortunate by Becky Chambers. And I loved Deep Light by Frances Hardinge as well. So hopefully that gives you a sense of the kind of books that really rated high for me last year, give you a bit of an insight into my reading tastes. Maybe we're compatible. If not, I guess thanks for coming. If you're happy to stick around and watch me have a go at doing this, please go ahead and hit subscribe. I've got so many great things planned. I can't wait to show you all. Thank you again for watching this, and I will see you again soon.